Hello everybody! It's been a while since I checked in here on YouTube, and since I'm currently waist deep in many time-consuming projects all at once, I thought it only fair to give you all a little update on what I have been doing these last couple of months. Alright, so there are mainly two reasons for why I've been quiet lately. And reason number one is that my band 𝐔𝐿𝐴 have been recording a brand new full-length album, which we will release sometime late fall this year. This is a very rewarding process and I absolutely love doing it. But it's one of those things that deserve my full attention, if you know what I mean. So naturally I shelved all my other projects for a while. The album is fully recorded now and we're almost done with the mixing. We think it sounds really good, and needless to say I'm looking forward to share the music with you all very soon. And soon it might very well be, because all the singles from the album will get a digital release throughout the summer. And the first single will be released on the 8th of June, so not that far off actually. 𝐔𝐒𝐃𝐑 is the first song to be released, and here's a little sneak peek from the recording of that song. I hope you like it.
Så kommer kassegitar, den må tenke jeg må dobles. Da ligger det en kassegitar.
Dette er det tristeste intervjurommet jeg har vært i.
Ja, det er ikke bra. Så det er jo sånn emosjonell berg-og-dal-bane. Ja, det tror jeg funker.
Kjør!
Vi må bare prøve.
Ja, ok, vi prøver Nikolaj.
Dagen kommer inn til opprette hage. Peoner på min puta, ei humla mot mitt kinn. Du er ingenting uten meg, så nå slipper jeg deg til. Setter alt jeg har i spill.
Bare få høre en slag jeg til, det høres naturlig ut.
Det var litt sånn effortless, og så ble jeg faktisk litt rørt på slutten til.
Ja, vi kjøper det.
Nå kunne jeg tenkt meg sånn at alle bare jubler over ho. Men sånn er vi ikke.
So that was a quick update on the record, and the full album will be released on vinyl later this year. As you can see, I've filmed and documented the entire recording process, and the whole documentary will be uploaded on YouTube nearing the release of the album. So that's one of the projects I've been working on. The other time-consuming project I'm involved in has actually been a work in process since June last year. It's a feature documentary film called inn i det blå, or Into the Blue, and it's about life below the surface surrounding the island where I live. So it's kind of a freediving documentary, if you will. This project has been a huge undertaking, and quite expensive to be honest, so right now I'm currently applying for funding. I have written quite a few applications and I'm very positive about the whole thing, so fingers crossed for some good news very soon. To be honest, I'm a bit hesitant on what I can reveal about the film at this point, but I can say that I'm well underway with both the filming and I have started the editing process. But there's a lot that remains. Mainly researching and editing. Actually, a whole lot of researching and editing. Long story short, this documentary will try to cross the border of being a nature documentary and a poetic documentary, inspired by poetry, books, music, the hidden world underneath, and films like 𝐂𝐚𝐬𝐿. I'm really looking forward to share more about this going forward, but I think I will keep a lid on it for now. However, as we're speaking of diving, here's a quick little story of me learning how to free dive with a lead belt on a while back, and how this led me to finally fulfill my dream of photographing the local skatefish, or the thornback ray. It's a really cool name, the thornback ray. I hope you like it. I dag så det en litt mer spennende dag enn det har vært så langt I dette prosjektet, for frem til nå så har jeg jo stort sett ligget og plasket I overflaten med snorkel og filmet nedover. Og siden jeg en nybegynnende fridokker, så har jeg på en måte begynt I det smått, og så skal jeg etter hvert eskalere litt I utstyr og sånn. Så nå har jeg gått til anskaffelse av et blybelte, så nå endelig tiden kommet for å virkelig gå inn I det blå. Og dukke nedover og prøve å få litt andre typer vinkler. Og jeg gleder meg, og jeg ikke si jeg gruer meg litt, men jeg spent. Jeg spent, og jeg gleder meg, og jeg håper det går bra. With my father back on land supervising the dive, with a rope tied to my lead belt, I went from words to action. And it didn't work the way I had hoped. I was a few kilos short of making it all the way down, and when I stopped swimming, I flew back up in no time. With no extra weight to put on at the time, I quickly realized that it was no point in trying anymore, that day at least. So I put the lead belt back up onto dry land, and I continued snorkeling in the surface instead. All in all, I guess it's better to put on one less kilo than one too many. So, success in that regard. Anyway, I floated around for maybe 30 minutes looking and searching for sea creatures and scenic moments. And wouldn't you know it, not before long, I stumbled over a red lion's mane jellyfish. It's not the largest I've seen, but it was still very beautiful. This jellyfish is one of the largest species of jellyfish in the world, or it can be, not this one in particular. It prefers cold waters and it's quite common around these parts. It uses its stinging tentacles to capture and eat things like fish, plankton, and even other jellyfish. Growing up, I used to be terrified of these things, but now I find them quite soothing and extremely captivating. It's hard to think of something more magical than a red-maned jellyfish pulsating in the sunlight. Especially if the ocean is so still that the reflection is visible in the surface. And that is how I found this one. I switched my camera over in photo mode, and I captured this moment. After finding out that I needed more weights, I figured it was time to get some expert help, so I called up my cousin, Mr. Freedive himself. And I asked if he could give me a helping hand figuring it all out. Sigbjørn, which is my cousin's name, of course said yes, and at the same time suggested we should practice freediving together. And maybe we also could practice in the area where a certain, eluding and strange fish lives. The thornback ray. For me, this was a dream come true. For a long time, I have on and off been trying to snorkel in the areas where I thought the thornback ray lived, hoping to see one. But so far, no luck. They hide at the bottom of the ocean in the sand, so they can be quite tricky to spot if you don't know what to look for. and as I've never seen one, I don't. So there's that, but with Sigbjørn's help, maybe I could get the chance, and maybe, just maybe, I could photograph one as well. When we got there, Sigbjørn took a quick look at my body, gave me 4 extra kilos, and off we went. And immediately I felt the difference. You should still be able to float with a lead belt on. And since the belt is first and foremost a helpful tool to get you further down, my first lesson was to understand that the belt was my friend and nothing to worry about. After all, strapping 10 kilos around your waist and jumping into the ocean does strike most people as kind of odd. But then again, Odd is my first name, so I started diving towards the bottom. Success. I came all the way down. Not gracefully, mind you, but I managed to get all the way down, equalizing the pressure and get back up. I did this a couple of times before I saw a scallop lying on the bottom, and my new goal was to dive down and collect it. And so I did. I proudly showed it off to Sigbjørn, and he suggested we should eat it. And it was a strange sensation. After we had eaten the scallop, we got back out there, still searching for thornback rays. And almost immediately Sigbjørn called out to me, and I rushed over, or I swam over. He had spotted one lying on the ocean floor, and he signaled me to follow him down. He went first, and I followed right behind. And there it was, just lying on the floor, the thornback ray. I went back up to regroup and catch my breath, but by the time I was ready to go back down, it had moved. I was gutted. But that feeling didn't last long, because on my second dive back down, I spotted another one. A much bigger one lying and hiding underneath the sand, waiting for their prey. 2 curious freedivers. This type of ray is the most common one spotted by freedivers, at least where I live. The adult can grow up to 1 meter, but that is quite rare. The young ones feed on small crustaceans, but the adults can eat crabs, shrimps, and even small fish. On our second dive down, the ray had wriggled loose from the sand, and it laid perfectly still on the bottom, ready to bolt. I focused first on filming, but managed to grab a few photographs as well. It was such a mesmerizing experience. Diving down 5-6 meters to greet a flying carpet full of thorns. On a third dive down, I had decided just to focus on photography, hoping to get a photograph while it was swimming. Needless to say, they swim a lot faster than us, and by the time we got back into position, the ray had started swimming away, but I managed to get one last photograph as it was fleeing the scene. I was giggling at the bottom. The visibility that day had been quite poor, as you can see, and we struggled to see anything at all actually. So be able to find 2 rays and get the chance to film and photograph them at the same time made me feel extremely lucky. As I sit here back on land, dry, writing, I cannot wait to get back down there. Down into the silence. Down into the magic. And I hope you will join me on my travels in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and take care.